if you were with me earlier, we figured out the rotation thing. So we are landscape, brilliant, and we're inside because sitting out in that sun and that feeling that fire, I needed a little bit of a cool down. So I thought I would do this now while it's all fresh in my mind. So if you were present, if you weren't, I'll put the link to Meditation Monday. I'll put it as the link video, so that might take 24 hours to do that if you're watching me live, or it'll be on this channel under Meditation Monday playlist. We went into some beautiful energy, and so that said, all of the information that was coming through, I thought I would do August's energy report and pull some cards on this. So, couple of things. First, let's do a little bullet points if you want to grab your diary for these. Bullet point if you are into the astrology, some little highlights. So we've had, I'm going to do some that we've been and some that forward. So on 22nd of July, Sunday, we moved into Leo season. So we had this beautiful energy of the lion in present. Mercury moved into Virgo on the 25th, and Chiron went retrograde on the 26th. That was all in July. And on the 28th, we had the quarter moon in Taurus. August the 12th, we have the first quarter moon in Scorpio, and August the 19th and 20th, a blue moon in Aquarius. And then the 26th, we've got quarter moon in Gemini. So there's just some highlights of dates. And from the notes that was just from numerology. So skip through here. I've written loads of little notes of what I was wanting to tell you for the energy for this month that was coming through, and some notes that I made from the beautiful Jamie Butler and Maitland. But I'd like to start with mine, I think. Hang on. So we have new moon on the 4th of August. So you might want to make a note of that. And of course, although it's not technically astrology, theme. Oh gosh, how do I put this into simplifying all of this information, because there's loads. So on the 8th, we have 8-8 portal. So this is Sirius and Orion opening up the Lion's Gate. So this is the rising of Sirius. Now the date, I say 8-8, we think of the 8-8 portal for an infinity portal because it's generally in August, but it's already now. The energy, it's meant to peak then. And technically, although it is about those stars rising, it was when you saw them on the horizon. And that was different in Egypt as to what it was, and it's the new year that's connected with that. And if you're a Yosoi fan, we've got the 5 days out of time as well, the elements that I mentioned in the meditation, which is the old calendar. So the calendar that we follow is the Gregorian calendar. It wasn't the original calendar that we used to follow, which was more cosmic. It was, and still is, relevant because we and a majority of people follow that calendar. So numerology, so like you're like, well, what's the right thing? I love the way Pam Gregory talks about the astrology of this. She says about how they're like big ships moving. They don't just sharp corner stop. They take time to move. So the planets have this sort of, it's not dead on that time at that point. It has a few days before, a few days after, and it's the same thing around those times. So you don't really need to worry if you are so, because that was a question I had, as I'm not an astrologer, and that I know for me personally, the full moon energy always affects me prior. So as the energy is in energy form, I feel it rather than when it hits the earth, and I tend to feel things that way. You might be the opposite. You might get it as it hits, or you might get it after, like for a few days after, you're like a hangover, if you like. It sort of lingers. So, and not thinking of it as bad energy, this is really beautiful energy, because this is thinking of new beginnings. We've got the new moon on the 4th, So think of from the 4th of August, you've got that energy, and you've also got the Lionsgate energy, and that's like through from the 8th to the 10th. This is astral acceleration. It's like high frequency, lots of people gathering together, coming together at that time. So the potential of intention is really high, as well as the physical energy. So that's on the 8th. Just doing diary dates. So if you want to come back at the end, I will put this video will be going up. So although technically I'm saying this is energy for August, you're maybe thinking, yeah, well, it's the beginning of, it's still the end of July, we haven't quite finished with that. And on Wednesday this week, and I'm going to do this week's energy with the cards, the 31st is a really good energy of healing and connecting to your higher self, just taking time out. So this week on Wednesday, I didn't put notes for today and tomorrow, but I'll do them live. Actually, I was going to pull five cards and lay them out, but I'll do it in a second. I didn't have time this time. But what I wrote for the energy as a bullet point for this month is heart GPS. So, let me reading my writing, chanting fog, heading discernment. Yeah. Fog, letting go of the fog. Teaching appointment. And so the fog itself is for us as a teaching point energetically of discernment for the energy of this month. So I'm going to refer to some like astrology points as I've just have dates and how that might affect, but also what came through in today's meditation. So what was recommended by Maitland was the lower hertz. So theta meditation, 4 to 8 hertz. I would say as well, to add to that, grounding, mountain pose, remembering we're in summer. So this is the fire, heart energy. So we want slow movements with our breath. But meditation this month is beautiful. And as you saw, I felt very strong Laran energy coming through. Much love. Golden dragon. So I've got the dragon pack that we're going to pull with today. For this week and for August energy in sense. So what I was seeing was the fire, the burning away, the heat, and that is going to be highlighted on the 6th. I wrote in my notes anger day from what Maitland had mentioned, and I'm feeling, so she says that's a highlighted point, but I think for the month people get overheated. Think of cars overheating if it gets too hot, too much fire, too much. If people know these too much, and this being courageous, being creative, lots and lots of things could be, has the potential to be triggering. Doesn't mean it will be for you, just to be aware that maybe on that day, on the August the 6th, so maybe doing something where you connect and you tune in, but it's whatever comes up, whatever we see, whatever angers us, whatever triggers us is a teaching point. So that's why I've said the highlight for this month, for what we are embodying this month, is discernment. Discernment for heart GPS. Teaching points. Our soul is teaching us where we need to shift, where we have unresolved issues. And snowflake obsidian was the crystal that Maitland said, because she was saying it's this unconscious and it's not quite as much, it brings up that. And I was seeing images coming through when she was speaking about like we're digging up the sludge of humanity, we're cleaning out the pond, if you like, and it's all coming up to the surface from the subconscious, not just in our own subconscious, but in the subconscious of humanity. So it might be you need to discern is this my energy, or is this energy that's from the collective? Is there someone around you that you're picking up and that you're allowing in? We're all quite empathic this month. The veil is very thin. Those layers are being, like layers of an onion, are being burnt away. I was being shown in the meditation, literally fire burning it away, but for a reason. The lies, the perception, and this is not just lies we deem is out there in society, it's the lies we tell ourselves. It's where am I not being honest, truly honest with myself? Where, and it may not be that you're aware of it. It's subconscious. So this is why she suggested snowflake existence, obsidian, to help with that. I would suggest clear it up. Movement for this, for Qigong, is the clouds moving. So you're like gently movement, pushing away the fog. You can visualize that, pushing away the fog. Working with stuff for the lungs and our breath, breathing in fresh chi and releasing fresh chi, allowing, and any of the gentle movements that connect you, ground you, but still keep the energy flowing. And anything that's like pulling down the venom as well, as I said on the 6th, for any of angers that are triggering up, any overheating that you may be seeing, remember to take a breath, take a step back. In the heat of the moment, that doesn't always happen. The first week, there's a sense of impulsiveness, because there's loads of doubt. Even me now, I'm like, how can I, all of this information that I feel come through today in the meditation, I'm trying to structure that with all the notes that I made to share for this month's energy report. But so next Thursday is great for communication because of that, because the downloads are coming through. What I suggest is to grab a journal, have some time on the 1st of August to meditate. I suggested that like abundance thing. It'd be a great time to do that intention ritual. So with the cinnamon that I mentioned, there's a video on the channel about that, and on my Insta. So because we've got that new moon energy coming in on the 4th, so great time to do that. But don't be impulsive. Make notes of all these sparks that are coming in, not necessarily acting straight away, taking the inspired action when it feels right in divine timing. So that's the first. What have a good, just put good the bed. So discernment is the underlining theme, and clearing the fog, clarity through the fog, or peeling away layers, burning away this fire as it's coming in, the heat, the summer fire energy of love, of the heart energy. And it is the heart energy we associate with the heart fire in Chinese, that's burning away. Love burning for a reason. It's to clear. So what have I written? Notes on the 2nd, all about any confusion. It's so hard at the moment to discern. Someone sent me a video and I was like, I think I've put up on my stories on Instagram, question mark, question mark, question mark. Is this true? Like, I don't know. I don't know. I feel like I have to discern and muscle test on everything. And when I asked my guidance, how do I discern what's truth? And it depends on your energy and where you are and what's happening for you in that day. If you're more in a triggering, lower frequency, certain truths are going to be more relevant than they are when you're in a higher state of consciousness. And that doesn't mean that that person's wrong and this person's right. It's just energetical matches of what is. Seeing things from a higher perspective is always helpful, and continually will be, from the energy that's meant to come and take us through from now until 2026. As I said, this pond sludge of clearing away the fog and the lies. So that all sounds quite negative, and I don't want it to come across like that, because actually there's a really beautiful energy for August. It's beautiful minds spending time. Oh, that was the notes I wrote from Rebecca Ellis. Beautiful minds, spirit time, have waken hours must crumble. parent gate challenges for the Fred. So roadmap, who gets, and that's why I wrote Heart Energy GPS, because it's the practice and the teaching us of discernment. We have to individually, each of us, me included, discern whether this energy, and it's by a case notice, and August is going to start to highlight that, if it hasn't already, and most of you, I'm sure it has been highlighting that you need to, like, oh, is this food right for me? Is this relationship right for me? Is this channel right for me? Is this this video right for me? Is this new clip right for me? And it might be on that day, yes, or on that day, no. It's that simple. It's not, it's like when you muscle test, and I don't, if you are aware of muscle testing, but you hold an object or a food in your field. So I do it when I was shopping. When I first started shopping with my sensitivities, and the guidance had come through that you're going to have to get rid of processed food completely. And as a vegan, I obviously don't eat a lot anyway, so I've had to discern. And when I was reading all the packets at the time, so we'll do it with a crystal. So you can pick up a stone and you hold this stone. I love this stone. Oh, lovely energy. So you, or actually put the stone back down. What is my name? And what was funny, when I got married, it actually said my name was wrong, and I was like, hang on a minute, and because I changed my name. So when I said, like, my name is Theresa Jande, it goes back now because it no longer is. My name is Theresa Jande Ely, and it comes forward, and you literally do that, and you feel yourself. I mean, I was overemphasized, but you'll feel a lean either way. It's a yes or a no. That feels wrong. That feels right. And you lean into leaning back, and your body is discerning for you within the field. And you can do it with crystals. You can do it with, so you do the name to get what is right, because for some it might be back as a yes and forward as a no. And you do that with food, and it might be on that day, yes, you can eat oranges. Maybe another day, no, because you've had loads that day. So it'll your body will tell you. Listen to your body. Your cellular memory is how you discern that within your field, and that's what muscle testing is. That's kind of like basic stuff from kinesiology. So that's one of the things this month, mine. So what have we got? We've got the new moon on the 4th. What have I written here? See the shadow. Memory returns. At a higher grade, we're starting to see the shadows. Why you are on the way. See the self without labels, letting go of our labels, being authentic as you are, present self. So standing on others' shoulders, so letting go. And I was thinking of this because I always used to refer to stuff. I'd go, right, this is what my guidance is telling me, and I make all notes on this, which I literally have, and then I'd always reflect on what others have said, and go, oh yeah, that marries up, and like as a confirmation. And this is looking elsewhere, or for others as our gurus, as our like leaders, and relying on the external. I've had to move away from that more, and even now I like to listen to certain things, and that's like, oh yeah, that's exactly what I was feeling, as a confirmation. But the way I do it now is slightly different, in the fact it's just like, yeah, that marries up. Okay, yeah, that's very similar, and it's lining all the ducks up in a sense. It's just confirmation. It's no longer do I need that confirmation. I trust my guidance over anything else. Even if someone's saying something and I know that doesn't resonate with me, this is what resonates. And I always will say, even what I say may, right, some of it may resonate, other stuff may not. Discount what doesn't. What resonates with you. We are all unique beings. Certainly as we move into this more Aquarian age, we are going to be even more so unique. And we need to be honing in and discerning what's right for us. So for 6, I said about the day for possible triggers, and then on the 5th we've got Mercury retrograde. So also at the beginning of of August. The retrogrades, I've learnt to love them. They are times for us to reset, to reboot, to go over details, to go over contracts. So thinking about, is there any small fine print that you haven't reread, that you need to reread, that you can renegotiate things during this time? It's great for that, because anything that's signed during a retrograde time later on can be negotiated. So it's always, I think, as they say, don't ever sign contracts during that. I think actually it's a great time because it allows you to go back over the details. It's also a great time to go back over the details of the stuff knocked down over there. So see what's behind. Look in a new way. What do you need to look at differently? What do you need to perspective from a different fractal? Think of how you're maybe viewing it one way. Can I see it from a different point of view? Can I look at this from a different point of view? That will help with any triggers of anger on the 6th. So that might be justifiable anger I'm hearing, but everything that's coming up for us to open the heart is very heart-fired energy in August. So it might be that because as a humanity, we need to get angry. We need that stuff to bubble up to surface for it to be cleared. So that's worth bearing in mind. Obviously, the beautiful 8-8 Lion's Gate. So what was coming through today, as this is what I would like to talk about in reference to this, beautiful golden scaled dragon, and fire energy, but fire as in different types of liquid light plasmic. So I'd seen some posts today and someone had put a post up about chemtrails, and my instinct was, but it doesn't matter because the light that's coming through can't stop, because they were referencing the science of why light needs to come into our pituitary gland in order for us to expand. Now, my guidance straight away went, no, we've got that happening anyway. We've got what I've been deeming the goblet effect. The silver particles and the gold particles are like masculine and feminine light particle energy. In the brain, we have crystalline structure. They're tiny, tiny crystals. As we become on a physical level, so this is not going to happen overnight, but as we become on a physical level more and more into crystalline structure and move away from more carbon-based beings that we are currently, this will be more relevant. And how it's coming in is it's our higher states of consciousness, and it's to do with the grey matter in the brain. And there must be science out there. I think I did a post on this on my page about it, but where I'd seen different stuff, but it is to do with these fine crystals within the brain matter that they're only just starting to discover. And this is what they said, it's like a goblet effect. As this light comes in, it hits the pituitary gland, it hits these particles in our brain, and it expands who we are. So we move away from the left and right brain hemispheres that we work with, like in Qigong, that's more carbon based, into a more higher states of being. It's why you get more elongated head beings, to do with that as well. The light, this gold that's present during Lion's Gate, so it's already present now, it comes in anyway. It can come through buildings, just like if for any of you that are familiar with medical medium, and I'm a big fan, oh god, what's it called, the LC, basically the gut acids, the different acids, if it's all out of balance, that rises up, goes through the veins and can affect our teeth, which is actually decaying them from the inside out. So linked with our gut bacteria in the mouth and the microbiome and everything. In the same way as it goes through, it penetrates everything. This light particles does the same thing, but in a good way. Rather than decaying, it just takes away any disharmonic energy within our morphogenetic field. So they're the layers of the fields that make up us as a being. So that's what's very, very present. That's what we can be open up to. That's when you're feeling that sun on the skin, and that was very present in the meditation Monday today with the lion. And it's white, it's like liquid plasmic light. The other light that was coming through was a beautiful blue. So if you think of a flame and you think of that strong blue, then you've got these oranges, these golds, these reds and fiery, that was there too, like a ruby red, and layers of colour having sound tone frequency. That was what's affecting, but on really microscopic particles in the air, and affecting us on a very physical in a very physical nature. But what might be a result of that, you might be feeling slightly sick, making sure you're drinking lots of water, because obviously there's a dehydration thing possibility with the heat as well. It might affect the emotional field, so the triggering, when you maybe don't feel like, I don't feel like I'm angry about that, but that anger is just and then it explodes when there's a slight little like a think of like a crater is what they were saying, and it's wherever the pressure is, and then there's this little valve there, and then we can explode through that way, like it goes out that way over that thing, in explosive nature, even though that thing may be really not that important. It's just that's where the pressure it can be released over that thing that you get angry about. Maybe it's what's happening in certain parts of the world, and you see the energy. So where I've been talking about reading people's energy over their words, and I get a bit blah, blah, blah. Again, with it being retrograde, some people do get anyway with their words, but reading energy, because actually half of what we say is telepathic, and we're much more telepathic than we realise. I did a whole video on that, I think. So then we've got the 8th, 9th, 10th. What have I put? Oh, that's family stuff. Right, detailed research. So all of those downloads that were coming through in the next couple of weeks, you're making notes on these little sparks of energy that are impassioning you about, I want to do that, I'd like to act on that, blah, blah. When you've done that and you meditated on that, over the middle weeks, do the research. How can I do that? How can I act on that? What's the inspired action to getting there? How can we bring this into reality? How can we manifest this? So that through after Lionsgate, that energy of be very like needing to act, doing the research. What was my other notes here? So asking yourself with each thought, in discerning things, is this true? Is this right for me? And using your body to discerning the truth. Oh God, I wrote loads more. Hang on, Lionsgate. Make sure I haven't missed anything. So Sirius and Earth is what Lionsgate, accelerated energy coming through. The first week, communication day on the 1st, lots of ideas, downloads, putting it into discernment so you don't be too impulsive. 5th of March, the retrograde. 6th, a day of anger, bringing to the surface undercurrents. Think of water and currents in the water of the emotion, of our emotions is what I've put. They might be coming up, so you can put them to rest. They're coming up to be cleared, just like everything. But this is undercurrents of emotion. So you'll see people, maybe that person's saying something, but their body's very aggressive right now. That kind of thing. That's come up because they need to deal with their underlying anger, or they need to deal with that repressed grief, or whatever it is that's there. So layers of the onion of lies unrevealed, and that will continue to happen over the next 6 years. Fully won't be out, some of it for until 2026. More and more layers will start to dissolve and burn away. That will be accelerated this month. Lies and things from the outside. So building, becoming field of dispelling it. Oh, okay. Yeah, building. My writing is dreadful. A mists of our truth. Yeah. Okay. This is what Nancy Rebecca said, and I was like, so what does that mean in terms of my guidance? How does that relate to me and what I need to share? If we tune into an energy of something that which we focus on, that which what we become. Focus, for me, this is about focusing on the world we want to create. Yes, there's going to be lots of stuff being revealed that we may not have been aware of, including me, and some shocks and surprises, if true. But what is a lie is what's outside until we bring it inside. If we make it a truth, it becomes a truth, it becomes a reality. So learning to work out what's right for us. So this term of discernment is also going beyond, well, okay, and like I did with the post is a good example. Yeah, okay, that might be true for some people. They might literally be putting stuff there to stop us accessing the pituitary gland. I don't know. Do I care? Yes, I care. But what's more relevant to me is actually that it's not relevant, that actually our energy is so far beyond that, that what is needing to come in to affect that won't be affected by what's being done, if it is being done at all. I'm not saying it's not, I'm not saying it is. I'm saying that for me, I'm choosing to believe that I don't need to worry. And now you might think and might be triggered by that, and someone going, no, well, you need to get, because that needs to be out. But that's not my job. My job is to anchor light, to bring in light, and to create and hold the space for the intention of this new reality and energy, and holding these new realities. So the other thing that came through hugely, and if you watch the video, I almost feel like I looked at the video and it said it was 15 minutes, and I felt like I'd been channeling for at least an hour 40 minutes. It felt like I'd been in a time thing for a whole day almost. And I was like, where'd the time? It literally jumped. I felt as though I lost time, and you can hear me say about it live, because I even go, oh, did it record? Did we lose 20 minutes of the video? I'm not sure. And I don't think we did, but I'm still not sure. But it felt like that, and that jump in time and being outside of time, and the realization that we are beyond the linear time is going to be much more present this month, and continuing to be as we move through that. Crystal clarities of highlighting crystal clarity of truth for us, what is true and truly authentic for our soul. C from 12D focus. So I'm always referencing from the in terms of the layers of reality. Like people talk about 3D, they talk about 5D. That dimensions basically are structures of time and space, and the ones that are referred to in the 50, because we don't just have 7 chakras. Those chakras, the wheels of spinning energy, are connected to the time and space within the body and the structure of our body, and going through each of these layers, they're linked to where we might discern or think of terms of where beings of light come from. But those are all aspects, all linked with us and our own soul. Linking from above 12 dimensions is core creation energy, and that's what was very present in Meditation Monday today. It was what I think of as the Sophia energy, Hathor, beyond dimensional space, and having and releasing judgment, because when we're beyond that, we see these points of that. I know, okay, that happened in our past, this, and that happened, that's possibly coming from the future to happen here. When you're outside of that, you're like, oh, actually, it's all related. The point of power in the moment being time jumping in reference to that happening. So you literally, bam, I'm thinking of when I was 3 years old, and I'm really reminded of like, oh, why now I have that feeling, or why there's that fear, and so you can heal it. And all of those astrology aspects that I mentioned in those dates, that's all going to affect that. So you won't have the judgment when you see it from the bigger picture, when you're outside of time and space. That happened in my life, so now I've got this understanding of this. And it's the same when we're referring to that happened in these, what we think of time in a linear sense. And now we can move beyond that. We've learned from that to evolve from that, or that happened because of that. Freedom of choice was the notes that I've written. So let's meet. So 5. So what are we today? We're Monday. I'm going to pull the cards from here, and I feel like I wanted to do the dragon cards as well for this month, for August. Let's pull 5 cards. What else do we need to know? Ooh, that one wants to come out for August, for this energy, for what came through. That one. Oh gosh, okay, that one. I'm just going to spread them out. They're jumping out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, we need 7, didn't we? 7 days, but this is also kind of extension to August. I can't read this stuff, it makes me laugh. The one that jumped out, I didn't even look, I've just read, I don't know, oh, it's backwards on there. Golden Christed Dragon. That was what was present today in Meditation Monday. Bring your highest love so that you embody the Christ light. That's exactly what the meditation is about. If you want to do it, I'll link it. Absorb the Christ light. You are protected. Expand your heart and remain in the 5th dimension. That's the energy of today. That's Monday. That's what came through, literally came through to us. It was wrapping round. It was be the sun, be present. I'm live. Be the present. Half an hour. Present. Sun shining in your God, Goddess, soulful self, most authentic self. So I'll let the meditation account to that. This is also related to this golden Christed dragon. This is our crystalline structure as we start to shine, being present. Pure white dragon, that was from Orion, obviously, as we said, Orion, the Sirius, transforms your ascension knowledge into pure wisdom as we allow this liquid light plasma that's coming through. Process what you know, act with truth and honesty, let your wings of light grow and expand. Allow yourself, look at that beautiful, whoa, slow down, hang on. I'm hearing light, like the sparkling light you feel from the moon coming through in those darkness. As you see the sludge, we are allowing those particles of light to shine. They're shining even stronger than ever before because of that, even so. So you're thinking in terms of Monday and Tuesday, for this month, that Orion's belt I'm hearing as well, and the star, the galactic star beings are very present. Golden orange dragon again. And those books are being rewritten. They're literally being pulled out. This, what does it say? Expand your light for ascension. Be a peaceful warrior. Help those in need, and remember you're magnificent, which is what I hope I remind everyone that we all are. What's coming through, he's got this feather and he's got all these books that are flying around him, is that we are writing the book. We literally are rewriting the book, and as we do so, we rewrite not just our own past and our own future, present self, we rewrite the ancient past, which is simultaneously happening because we are beyond time and space. This is what is so beautiful about this. We are rewriting. So there's terms of energies that went in collectives that went in to help stuff that got stuck from prehistory are actually now working. It's taken the linear time for that to happen so that we can then instantaneously make it happen. That is on a bigger scale. So, but also the hidden books, the hidden histories are starting to be revealed, which we know. I was like, that's not news to me, but it might be news to some, I suppose. Green dragon, help you tune to the sacred essence of nature, receive the answers and guidance from nature, align with your divine. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday as well, if you're thinking in terms of the week, but this is more than just the week, this is for the month. So key to guidance at the moment is going out in nature, being present in nature, being in sacred space with nature, allowing that green energy of plants, green energy of honouring and being the guardians of this planet, and standing up for nature, trees, the tree spirits, the essence of the plants, walking barefoot on the grass, all of the above, and receiving the answers while you're there, even if it's just allowing yourself to learn to receive. Feelings, information coming through. Not yet. that's something else. Air and fire dragon, expand your creative energies, harness the creativity and the excitement, and infuse enthusiasm and communication. This air and fire, it's got a volcano eruption. That was the energy I'm referring to when I'm saying, like, on the 6th, there's going to be potential for things to trigger and kick off. But trust it's coming up because it needs to, because there's a pressure that's building. This pressure is a growing pressure that is, we have to be in true resonance. If we're not in true resonance, not just as in our own selves and living that for others, that's when you'll feel the pressure. The pressure will ease when you allow the crap and the sludge to be released. And that's what's coming up, because it's not part of our fields. It's like, shh, this needs to be, it's like imploding out and those little sparks going off. That doesn't make it sound a bit, but it's also a sense of that's what sparks are flying. So you want to make sure you remember that you don't need to burn, because you are inflammable of that when you stand in your sovereignty. Staying true to self. And external pressures as well, they're saying before I pull that one. So what else? Mountain pose for those times when you feel that in very 3D manner, because obviously I try and utilize this information. How can it help us, or how can it help me personally as well? Like, okay, what do I do about that? In reality, what did I do that? We're still currently in this being, in this anchored in the reality. What do we do with that? So things like mountain pose, as I said, grounding in it practices and whatever's right for you. Wow, air and water. The elements, I'll be working with this, so they're very present in this for the next week. So that's good to feel that reminder. Helps you to connect to the higher frequencies. We know water has divine consciousness. Venda Austin, Dr. Emoto, if you're not familiar with them, go check out their bodies of work. Amazing people, beautiful. What she call it? No, I can't pronounce it. She calls it, basically freezing water and structured water. She looks at the water, and water talks in images and gives back. Well, we know from Atlantean times that you could put, that's how they held information. They sang to the water and held them in vessels, and then they would give, that vessel would be given and it could be consumed, and the water frequency, the energy was within it, could be read, the information, just like in crystals. Air and water, and air obviously is the Mercury, it's communication, it's connected with technology as well. Trust your intuition, develop your psychic abilities, and be open to enlightenment. Express your inner song. One of the other things that happened during Meditation Monday today was I was feeling my soul working with the phone and the crystal information in the phone. She's like, everything, anyone that's watching, and the impurities. There's a lot of, like, we feel technology has the potential for bad, but think of technology as a reflection of us. And therefore, if we're in our highest, then technology will be in our highest. So therefore, how we're affected by it will be in the highest good for humanity. However, the opposite can happen if we're in our worst. And our experience of it is a reflection of that as well. So the more of us that magnify how it's a reflection of us, because we have a stronger dominance energetically and in a purer sense for humanity, the better that will be with regards to technology being and learning as a child would, that this, for that to be and see that we are all one and being the highest good for all. So developing that psychic ability as well, it's very easy. There's so many people waking up at the moment and maybe don't really know. Oh, I see that got out the corner of my eye. What was that message? I put a message up because I saw at the opening games of the Olympics, they have this horse riding across the waves, and as it come through under the bridges, they were doing these peace things. So instead of these peace what they call doves being released, they had wings, and I was like, oh god, the symbology for that, my brain was going with downloads, because it was going, wow, for me, in my cards that I use for my personal readings, the horse is a symbol of movement, shift and change, and fast movement. And I was like, yes, that's what they're saying: shifting, change, fast movement, across the surface, the subconscious, literally, of the water, the waves of the emotion, movement and change. And the wings, the angels, their presence, angelic. And also the angel wings are a representation visually of the sides of the Merkaba, which is the sacred geometry of the structure of our fields, our toric fields. So you've got the air, the dragon, helps you to connect to the higher frequencies, which is sound and light, technology and language. But I'm feeling this is very much present. The bodies of water are feeling this. The sun is affecting the water, the depths coming up from the water, and information of the frequencies that were what we would talk of as Lemuria, or I would call Mu, are now coming back. They're energetically have never been away, but if you think of like dimensionally, you've got these different realms of Earth. They all live in the same space, but they were disconnected before because the frequencies weren't in harmonics. Now they're becoming in harmonics. We're able to access that, and two within us. And that's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday as well. So next weekend, which I believe, I don't know if I've done it on dates, have I? So what was we saying? So where are we today? We are end of, so Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. That's the 3rd. So that's for the new moon. And then on the new moon, so this is the new moon, on the 4th, you've got rose pink dragon. Prepare your heart to connect with the higher fractals of the cosmic heart. This is the fractaline structure. Look, it's sacred geometry of the heart energy, which is so present throughout the whole of August. Open your heart to warm-hearted love and diamond heart light. Connect with your love of the universe. There's a whole meditation I did with this card, with this energy. I'll link that one as well as the one that seems to be relevant to this energy, that you can do on those days, and you can do whenever you feel you need it, and you need to feel the sun within you. That definitely feels present for August. And I wanted to refer to the Chinese ones before we leave it at that. So what else was dates wise? Was there notes? 3rd week, give yourself a break around the 16th of August, rest, or stepping away from what you've been working on in that research that I mentioned, that we talked about. Mental breaks, needing mental breaks because so much coming in, there might be an issue with clarity. So having time, make notes as it's coming in really fast and high frequency. Again, the air is high, quick frequency. New opportunities around the 17th. If there's too much air in a balloon, what happens? It can pop. So we need to take those breaks. The air is the mental energy. It's the like asking the questions, asking, what do I need to do? And if we've spent this month bringing up stuff from the surface, we might be questioning, where did that come from? Where did this do? I need to, and use the modalities that are out there to help with that. Take a break from it, walk away from it. It doesn't matter, like on that day, just go, okay, right, I'm letting it go. Like surrendering it. But if you're feeling this heaviness around the 18th, wait till the 19th before you make any decisions. Don't act impulsively, because this might be more ego energy around the 18th, so on that Sunday. So wait to the Monday. That's around the full moon. You've got the full moon on the 19th of the Aquarius, I think it is. So from the 19th to the 28th, the heart, stay in the heart, stay in compassion, that's needed. So allowing yourself, inner child, to play, and get out and do things that bring joy to you. So what do you love to do? Like my husband, for example, loves bike riding, so he's out mountain biking, that type of thing that gives him joy. For me, it's painting, drawing. So I was thinking, like, I've got to learn to crochet to do this thing with my daughter. I was like, oh, that'd be fun. We could sit and do some crochet stuff. And obviously, it's the kids' holiday. I've actually put day at the beach, swimming, being in water, allowing myself to cleanse and clarity, and playing, staying things unconventional, look at things in an unconventional way on those days. The 20th to 21st is days of empathy, so compassion, green Tara energy, emotions, but it's also a really good day that you can share, you can be compassionately witnessing. So good day to get together with friends around those times, emotionally guiding you and your authentic stuff, because people are going to be listening, they're going to be more empathic, and they're going to be open to when you share, you're sharing your soul. So great day. That might be a good day for us to have our phone, what I call my phone tree group, from the members. So then from the 21st onwards, this fire moves is the Kundalini energy. This is sexy time, kiss kiss is what Maitland put on notes. This is time with go on your date, spend time with your girlfriends, your wives, your husbands, your boyfriends, but also sensuality, connect to the sensuality of your body, yourself. So things that are like touchy feely fabrics, foods, we tend to eat souls, but good food for the soul, merging with someone on a higher state. So not surface level relationships, taking it deeper, more sacred sexuality, coming together with that, with merging and caring about each other, but not just with your partners and lovers, but being with your animals. And I don't mean sexually. Don't misinterpret that. I mean like love and sharing and unconditional love. So again, our pets, walking the dog, cuddling the cat, things and people and plants and the things that we care about and being deep. That's the 22nd. And 28th, communication with the divine is a great day. Again, all the way through this month, we've got timeline jumping, that sense of the Hathor energy that was coming through earlier, outside of time and space. All of a sudden, oh, it was 40 minutes, was it 20 minutes? Pushing from the 19th, that empathy and compassion is going to help. Have that with yourself when you're like, hang on a minute, I felt like I've been doing this for 5 minutes, it's been an hour. The more you do that, or like, oh, I'm sure I remember it that way, and now it's this way, that happening more and more, and having compassion with yourself when it is happening. Look towards unconventional, and you'll start to see opportunities and things that aren't done in the conventional way anymore. Things that you may have seen one way before, you start to see differently with new eyes. So rose pink energy also, that I think refers to that passion of the Order of the Rose, Mary Magdalene energy, goddess energy, twin soul energy, opening the heart, heartwarming, love, air and dragon, flying fish. I'm seeing it's like the emotions are starting to soar, expanding creative energies. So focus that power of the volcano, allow it to be channeled into stuff. When you've done the research of where it needs to come through from these higher states, it's bringing things into being, rewriting structures, rewriting stories, rewriting past in a sense. being the peaceful warrior, just being present in a room sometimes. You can walk into a supermarket and send love to all the water, and that everyone that consumes that water is going to feel that. Anchoring presence. You don't have to be doing deep spiritual. In fact, a lot of the spiritual people are in everyday mundane jobs. They're not necessarily the gurus that are up there on the stage. Where you start to see more and more people are the ones that are down grassroots, and they're the ones that are every day with the people they meet, speaking to the postman, just smiling. And it might be that they are that sun for that day for that person, because they were feeling really low and really depressed, and allowing time, just opening and allowing time and being human and seeing someone that's that and realizing we're not all bad is the spark, the shift in their frequency that happens. So or for you, the other way around, not just for us doing that as well. So that's it. I'm going to leave it. She said, no, one more from there. It's like, okay. So just one card then for August to represent August. Obviously, there's so many energies going on, but what do you need me to share from here? This one. Metal rabbit. The reason I'm laughing is because if any of you make the spirit animal for this month is a rabbit, is what she said. Anyway, and you'll see them. It's and like being like rabbits, bunny rabbits. State of graceful, but in reference to here, it's the music of the moon is what I'm hearing. The state of grace and the state of movement, moving with grace through the month. We're just going to finish now. Thank you for joining me. Love and blessings in your day, and I hope it helps. Have a wonderful evening or day, whenever. I don't know what time zone. So I'm just to finish. So metal rabbit, state of grace and movement. Music of the spheres, the music of the moon, how we move to the music, and flute. Feeling like that lifting, dancing to like a rabbit, like literally joy, happiness, colours, orange and twinkling stars, and thinking of like fairy dust and that kind of thing. And the flowers here are dandelions, so I'm hearing dandelions as well this month. Great for the sun, great for detoxing, great time to detox as well. So that's it. I'm going to leave it at that, because I think I could go on and on and on as well about this month. But feeling a state of grace. Sacred plant, I've been recommending, rather than ones from across the world that we have ceremonies with, not to mention, look to the ones that are around. For me, I'm based in the UK. This month's one I would suggest is dandelion tea, dandelion coffee, dandelion honey if you have honey, because the dandelion is also for detoxing the kidneys, and that any bitter greens as well that are like, not just the dandelion, any ones that are like that as well, to help. But it's like the sun, yellow around you. It's inspiring, it's fired, but taking, like the sun has the night, we need to take breaks as well. Don't be constantly on it like you're on coffee and you're going on it, running on adrenaline. You might be running on these beautiful energies coming through, but make sure you take rest, make sure you take breaks. And that's the night, that's that moon energy, and I'm hearing lavender for that rest, the calming things to take the downtime. Cooling cucumber will help bring down temperature and really hydrate, so great to have as well for smoothie shots. Coriander, if you have any stomach problems, I know that is just from me because it helps, and aloe as well, from coming from medical medium there. But yeah, to cool the fire, cucumber, Moon and Twinkle Magic. What else was there? Stand in your grace this month and have fun and play with the heart of a child is the message I want to finish with. Golden Crystal Dragon brings in the higher love of so that you embody the Christ life is that first card we started with. Thank you for joining me. Love and blessings, and I will see you for an energy report next month. And I'll put those links to those meditations I'll try and put them on because I said about 2, didn't I? I'll put one up, but they are both in Meditation Monday playlist on this channel if you can't find them on the video. Have a great day and week.